friends, Joel back with ya, and I wanted to talk today a little bit about Saturn contacts in Synastry and what goes on there when we see Saturn aspecting another person's Saturn, because you have to have a little bit of an age gap here to have Saturn aspects, because Saturn moves so slowly. So if you have Saturn conjunct each other in itself, that is not significant. It's when Saturn makes other aspects to another person's Saturn that is significant. So I thought we'd talk about the square today. Start that series off this way. So if your Saturn is square to another person's Saturn, you have an age difference of about 7 years. And this one is really about big lessons in how each of you handles your problems, your plans for eventualities, and how your insecurities clash and the way you approach success and long-term goals. Very different when we've got this square. So Saturn, principles are limitation, challenges, growth through hard work, acceptance, taking responsibility. So when we are experiencing a Saturn contact with somebody, those are the things that we are learning. Those are the principles that we are learning. And those are the things we are learning through. So this one really shows problems that center around causing those characteristics to be built up within each partner. So it's very much like the things of Saturn are strengthened between the two people if they don't decide to go their own ways, because this is also a very difficult square. So both want to do and view Saturn things their own way when we have this aspect. The issues they face are very much going to be seen as coming from the outside world, because Saturn represents naturally the energy of the 10th house, which is talking about the outside world, as opposed to the 4th house, which is its polar opposite, which is our internal landscape, the most intimate part of our insides, our stomach. Saturn is what gets us around, our knees and our bones and our structure, and it's what you can see about us too, what you know about us. So this one is one where we really have to employ a lot of the positive aspects of Saturn into the relationship if we're going to see success with this square. So we have to compromise. And more than that is you have to be truly, truly willing to see the other person's point of view. Saturn hates that. Saturn in us always wants to be right. It wants to justify itself. So you hear a lot of justifying between two people with this square, why the other person is wrong, when really you need to be spending the energy on looking at what they might be right about. So you have to consider the other's position. And the thing is you must be mature enough to recognize your immaturity when you have this square, or else the immaturity between two people just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We have to take responsibility for our own position when we have this one, instead of either passing the buck or insisting the other person do what we do. You got to take responsibility for your own crap, your own self. And this square can actually turn into something that can work. So we have two very different styles But if you can really come out of your own set view of this is the way things should be, your style can grow into something that is not so rigid and is not so built on those personal shoulds. So this is an enriching square in that it can propel us into a state of mind where we have more authentic maturity about our outlook on experiences and people and things that come our way. So these Saturn contacts, they're not for everybody, really. They can be a real pain when we have the difficult contacts. Easy contacts are a piece of cake, really. So it's one about compromise, maturity, when we've got this one. So hope you found this helpful. If you did, please like my video and subscribe to my channel. You can find me on the internet at truthinaspectastrology.com. You can find me on Facebook, where you should be following me, at Truth in Aspect Astrology. And I will be back super soon with the rest of this series. And I'm always adding to my aspect series. And I love your questions and your comments and your suggestions. Because without those, I really don't have a good sense of what you're looking for. And I ain't making these videos for me. So, see you soon. Bye-bye.